Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's been a bit since I've done my last video rambling about Sonic Racing Crossworlds, but thankfully I'm not rambling about Sonic Racing Crossworlds in this video, though I know that the channel has primarily been Sonic focused, whether it be Crossworlds or Rumble specific, and I know that I've also streamed on here before, but just a little plug here. I'm streaming over on Twitch more often now. We are 14 subs in, and once we reach 20 subs over on the Twitch channel, I will be streaming Nights. I've never played Nights before. I mean, I've played some of Nights, but I've never actually like fully played through Nights. So, you know, we just recently finished up a Sonic Rush playthrough, which was really fun. So, link in the description, pinned comment, and somewhere on the screen. So, again, would much appreciated if you followed me over on Twitch. Anyway, so today's video is about SpongeBob. And this is such a unique video because it's been a while since I've done anything SpongeBob related. I reacted to the trailer for the new SpongeBob game, Titans of the Tide, and I really liked what I saw from there, and I was given the opportunity to play SpongeBob Titans of the Tide early in the new demo that will be releasing as soon as this video goes up, I'm assuming. I really enjoyed playing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I really enjoyed playing Rehydrated when that came out. I somewhat kind of enjoyed SpongeBob The Cosmic Shake. I didn't really like it as much as I had hoped to, because it just felt like a more, I guess, watered down version of Battle for Bikini Bottom. It just felt like they played it a little too safe with that game, and I was kind of hoping that there would be more DLC content added to the game as time went on, but nothing really ever came of that. And I just felt like the overall final boss was sort of just underwhelming as well. But I still enjoyed the time that I had with playing the Cosmic Shake. And again, I've just, you know, It's awesome that we're bringing the Dutchman back into the spotlight with this one, as well as King Neptune, but more specifically the Dutchman, because I really enjoyed, and I know this is a hot take, but I really enjoyed SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and I remember I played that a lot on both GameCube and PlayStation 2. I think the first console I had it for was the GameCube, and I specifically remember playing that a lot with my dad, and we shared a lot of good memories with that game specifically. So that game, even though I know is mostly hated by the community, there's just something about that game that I really enjoy, and I love going back to and playing through. Even if it's not like the best game ever, I still appreciate it for what it was, and it's really fun. I enjoy Revenge of the Flying Dutchman so much. But this is Titans of the Tide, and I feel like I'm getting the name wrong, so I've said it so many times, I'm solidifying that as the name, but if it's wrong, it's wrong, you know, whatever. It opens up, and you're greeted to this cutscene of SpongeBob and the Krusty Krab. There's like a huge mob of fish just waiting for the Krabby Patty, and it acts as like a tutorial kind of like thing for SpongeBob, where you get to, you know, you get to go around the Krusty Krab, you get to spin tables to clean them, you get to collect things such as crates and whatnot, and it serves as a good like opening to the game. I feel it really just throws you into the gameplay, and it really showcases what the game is all about when you're playing as SpongeBob. And something that they're doing with this game that I actually really enjoy from the preview that they showcased when they showed the game off at Gamescom, I believe. When you were done with the SpongeBob section of the tutorial, you know, it plays like a cutscene, and then it immediately transitions over to what Patrick is doing. So you go from what happens in the Krusty Krab, with the Dutchman blowing up and everything at King Neptune, and then you start off playing as Patrick, and it just really easily flows into the gameplay. Patrick doesn't really play too different from SpongeBob. There are certain mechanics that are different with Patrick as well, such as being able to burrow underground. I got heavy Crash Bandicoot vibes off of that. Not mentioning that, you know, SpongeBob having a little spin attack sort of reminds me of Crash Bandicoot, even though it's been reworked to be more of a 3-button mash thing where you hit once, then you hit again, and then a third thing sort of like twirls him around. But Patrick can burrow under the ground. He can also roll, and he can also just attack and grab things as you usually are used to being able to do in Battle for Bikini Bottom. And so being able to play as Patrick again really feels great, and I really enjoyed being able to walk through and just see the environment with Patrick, have some time with Patrick. And something that I also really enjoyed with this game is just how interactive the environment environment is. You can walk around and find different fish folk, if you will, and they'll react to you hitting them, or they'll just like look at you and say, hey, what's up, you know. They'll have a little dialogue thing. And also, in certain instances with the story beats throughout the level, if you have the camera panned around to see the character from their front-facing view, such as Patrick, if he's saying something that is directly impactful for the story, his actual mouth will move, which I'm not sure if that was a thing in Rehydrated or Cosmic Shake, but I just really love being able to see, like, you get to turn around the camera and see the character actually like talking, and I just thought that was really fun. The gameplay from there is you see the Krusty Krab up in the air, and your goal is to make it to the Krusty Krab. You come across like Karen and Plankton along the way. You fight ghosts, which is really cool. Very copy and pasted enemies from Rehydrated and Cosmic Shake. There's nothing really too different about the different types of enemy types that you come across in the game, aside from like maybe the one ghost fight that you have when you make it to the Krusty Krab, and it's like this big buff ghost. But then again, I mean, like, both Cosmic Shake and Rehydrated, you had sort of those buff-like character types as well for the enemies. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this specifically, more so exploring Bikini Bottom to get to the Krusty Krab, the stages are actually more open. Kind of remind me of the openness from Rehydrated a little bit. I know Cosmic Shake also had a little bit of openness to it as well, but there was something about the way that they approached the level design in this game that is somewhat different from Rehydrated and Cosmic Shake. Both of those games have open-ended levels and are very linear. This one, it sort of is like you can see where you're going. Like there's a straight line path of just being able to see where you're supposed to go, but it opens up the sides a lot more. Like there's a lot more you can explore, and it just feels like each level, in my opinion, from just playing the 2 levels that were available in the demo, it felt more open, and it felt kind of like a hub world of its own, sort of, kind of. Like, I don't know, it really felt like every level was the hub of the game, and I really like that. It makes the levels feel more lived in. It gives them more openness, and it makes collecting things a lot more fun as well. Like, I enjoy being able to go around and explore the little secret areas and get the little nooks and crannies that you can find just from blatantly going off the beaten path and being able to collect like doubloons, or just discover hidden enemies or hidden NPCs and stuff like that. And there is something about that in the I believe it's called Goldfish Island, that I'll touch up on in a little bit here, that I really want to see more of going forward in SpongeBob titles if they continue to make more games after this. So once you make it to the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs come flying in on this like Krabby Patty like airship that is just the Krusty Krab again, but in the air, and that acts as the central hub of the game, which is really interesting because you have all these different levels that are sort of open-ended, and then the actual hub for wherever you go and select the levels that you want to play in is its own small hub area. It's not as big as like Bikini Bottom was in both Rehydrated and Cosmic Shake. It is a stationary area that you can go in and explore and have different things, and you can come back to it later when you have specific upgrades that you collect as you go on your journey through the game. And there's actually something else within the Krusty floating patty, whatever you want to call it. There's a kitchen area, and I didn't get to check this out until way later on because I didn't realize that it was there until I was reading over some information about the game. And then I went to the floating patty, and there is a kitchen area beside Squidward, and you can go in and there's this cool little mini game where you get to cook Krabby Patties and whatnot. It's a very small little mini game, but it is pretty interesting nonetheless. And then obviously throughout the floating patty you can meet characters such as Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Pearl, who is the shop owner for the skins. And this game has a lot of cool cool skins. You know, you've got like the cuddly crab, you got SpongeBob's work outfit, you know, you got beach outfits for both SpongeBob and Patrick, you got a pirate outfit for Patrick. There's a couple others. I think there was a karate outfit for SpongeBob. I feel like I recorded gameplay for each of those, and I feel like I'll be able to showcase them. I hope that I showcase them properly. Overall, like, I just really enjoyed this small little hub area and just seeing how it felt there was more world building to it. From the floating patty, you go to Goldfish Island, and this is sort of like the kelp forest, sort of like goo lagoon kind of area, and there are a ton of things in this level that was very different from the opening tutorial with Patrick and Bikini Bottom, and it also has a bunch of the features that I was talking about that I hope is included in future SpongeBob games. So you get to Goldfish Island, and you hear about that there's this like hidden treasure or whatever within the kelp forest, from Captain Goldie, I believe that was the character's name. And one thing that I do want to point out is that I feel like the cutscenes in this game are very much more animated than they ever have been, and the writing is very on point for something SpongeBob related. Like, I really like this cutscene with Mr. Krabs here.
If you do, you will hear from my union.
What do you don't even work for me. I ain't paying you no how.
Daddy, come on.
Coming, sweetheart.
And so, you know, you could choose to go on the main quest of, you know, following up with Captain Goldie and doing her mission to unlock, you know, to progress towards getting the gold in Kelp Forest area. Or you can actually run around and roam within this level and find different characters such as Squidward, Mrs. Puff, Larry, and all of them will give you side quests, and by completing these side quests you can actually unlock costumes and other things. So like, for example, Squidward's side quest is his art workshop. You'll find him on the very far right from where you begin in the level. And you just basically go around with SpongeBob and you kick these spotlights to progress through the little side quest mission. And then with Patrick, you do something, you like throw this explosive barrel at a rock, and then like the rock explodes and becomes the handsome Squidward statue. And then Squidward's like, oh my god, I can't believe you guys actually helped me, yada yada yada, and then he gives you like a costume. Mrs. Puff's side quest can only be activated after going and talking to Captain Goldie, which will allow you to go and then meet up with Sandy, which she then allows you to unlock this ability of being able to use a surfboard. It's sort of like a ghost surfboard, which you can easily swap between both Patrick and SpongeBob on it. You don't even have to get off of it just to swap. And that's another thing that I like completely glanced over. I apologize for that. But once you get to the floating patty, that's when you get to do the swap mechanic between SpongeBob and Patrick. And both, I mean, I'm gonna just be honest, the swap mechanic is probably the best thing about the gameplay in this game, because both SpongeBob and Patrick, yet again, you know, having similar play sets and play styles, it's just so nice to be able to fluently switch between both of them, and it's sort of like on a fly kind of thing. So it just really works out well, and I feel like it really ties into the gameplay flow a lot better. But Mrs. Puff's, going back on track, Mrs. Puff's side quest was trash collection, and it spawns all these different trash piles around the beach and in the water, and you have to surf through them and such to get that quest done. And then there was Larry's surfing race, where it seems like each level might have this side quest where Larry will challenge you to race across the level to a certain point of the level, and if you beat the time, he rewards you with a costume such as the other side quest. And it's just, I'm assuming that this might have an online leaderboard kind of thing, so it's going to be very interesting to see how people tackle this online and see what the shortest time that people have been able to complete these level time trials in. And again, that's just something that I really enjoyed about playing this game, and how open the level is, the side quests that you could do alongside the main quest, and sometimes having to interact with the main quest to get access to the other side quests. It just really makes the level flow much more entertaining, and it feels like, you know, you're more rewarded for actually stepping away from the main quest for a little bit and interacting with these different characters from the SpongeBob cast. And it's just, again, it's really nice. So after you help Captain Goldie get the lighthouse fixed, she gives you access to the grapple mechanic, and that's where you can go then open up the doorway to the kelp forest. That's where the demo ends. After you yank the door for the kelp forest entrance, it instantly shuts the game off and is just like, hey, you know, thanks for playing, be sure to wish list and pre-order, yada yada yada. And the one thing that I dislike about that is that it doesn't keep your save for whenever you complete the demo. So just in case you want to go back and use those mechanics that you saw on the ship, like the kick or the grapple, the floating patty, I mean, you're gonna have to play through the entirety of the demo again, get to that point, and instead of going for the grapple hook on the kelp forest door, backtrack to the beginning of the goldfish isle level, and you can use the grapple on the boat there. That'll give you some stuff, and then you can go to the floating patty and use it in the bathroom, I believe. But there was nothing really there that I noticed that may be there in the final version of the game. So I'm very interested in seeing how they're going to interact and you know, bring all these mechanics together going forward in the game. Another interesting thing that I noticed in the demo is that there are jellyfish that you can go around and collect with both Patrick and SpongeBob. I'm not sure what they retain to or really work towards. There's nothing that really pops up or something that you can use to keep track of how many jellyfish you have. It's just interesting that they have jellyfish there, and I'm interested in seeing of what that mechanic is going to be. So overall, SpongeBob Titans of the Tide is by far probably my most anticipated 3D platformer of this year. I really enjoyed Donkey Kong Bonanza. That looked really fun, and I know that Bubsy 4D just recently had a demo come out, but I'm not really too interested in the Bubsy thing. But I am 100% interested in this new SpongeBob game coming out very soon. So I hope that I'll be able to grab it in time, and I'll definitely be streaming it over on Twitch. So yeah, so again, this is SpongeBob Titans of the Tide. The release will be on November 18th of this year. It'll be releasing on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC and the Nintendo Switch 2. And I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. So again, a huge thank you to THQNordic for allowing me early access to the demo. It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to Titans of the Tide. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to hear more of Titans of the Tide or Sonic and just keep up with more rambling from me, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you won't miss out on more videos like this. And comment down below if you're excited for SpongeBob Titans of the Tide. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.